JPMorgan Chase rolls back policy of debanking conservatives. Now, I can't even believe I have to have this conversation. I remember I've done videos before about um, banks and places like uh, uh, PayPal cutting off services to conservatives, which should be illegal. That's basically discriminating on someone because of their political beliefs, because of their religion. It should be illegal. I don't even know how these banks and bank types get away with this stuff in the first place. But JP Morgan is starting to roll back their policy, which is JP Morgan, they would never ever get any of my business. BlackRock, they would never ever get any of my business because of the DEI and the discrimination that they do on conservatives. But we're going to talk a little bit about that. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon, and that's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. All right, so let's talk about this news. Now, this comes from Slay News' Nick R. Hamilton. He reports that JP Morgan Chase, America's largest bank, has just rolled back its policy that led to the debanking of conservative and Christian customers. In recent years, major corporations have blatantly discriminated against Americans with certain viewpoints, most of those being conservatives and Christians. Again, that should be illegal, you would think. According to Fox News, JP Morgan Chase, the largest bank in the U.S., recently rolled back its social risk issues policy, which resulted in the debunking, it says debunking, it meant debanking, of several Christian nonprofits and conservative individuals. Its WePay service required merchants to refuse to accept payments from those flagged with the social risk issues category. Now, this is the China way. This is the China social score stuff that they're trying to implement here in the United States. Whereas if you have a certain ideology or you go against the grain, you go against the government, you could be debanked, you could be deplatformed, which again, it should be illegal. The bank described the category as anything, quote, subject to allegations and impacts related to hate groups, systemic racism, sexual harassment, and corporate culture. The Alliance for Defending Freedom, ADF, announced that the language had been removed from the bank's website this month. ADF senior counsel Jeremy Tedesco explained to Fox News Digital what the major bank was doing and why it was obviously harmful to certain Americans and their livelihoods. Quote, Chase has used this policy to discriminate on the basis of viewpoint, Tedesco said in the interview, and that's what I basically was alluding to. Because of what you believe, because of your beliefs, because of your point of view, they believe they can kick you off the platform because they don't like what you say or like what you believe. That's totally against the First Amendment. But, quote, the policy itself is a risk to every single person who uses WePay and Chase, the biggest bank in America. There are millions of people where it's a threat to them being denied or losing payment processing, Tedesco continued. So it is significant that they eliminated that policy. The next step we think for Chase is because they've been saying we're firmly committed to not discriminating against people on their religious or political views in different documents. That statement we want them to put into their forward-facing customer policies. That's the next step. And Ultra MAGA DLP posted on X that Christian legal firm celebrates win as Chase scales back debanking policy. In many cases, Chase had shut down the accounts of the targeted Christian and conservative individuals and nonprofits. Those targeted including the bank account of the National Committee for Religious Freedom, a political nonprofit. The NCRF account has shut down without explanation. I might have did a report on that one. Tedesco applauded Chase for rolling back the ridiculous and discriminatory policy. Quote, Americans shouldn't have to fear that they can lose access to their bank accounts or payment processing because of their religious and political beliefs. Tedesco said. And we think it's significant that Chase took this step. I think Chase is doing it because they know Trump is going to win in 2024, and things are going to change, and they're going to come after DEI places like Chase and stuff for what they're doing when how they're discriminating on American citizens. But conservative individuals and groups have been targeted for years by all sectors, especially by big tech. Hopefully, more corporations will begin to follow Chase's lead steadily. I agree. But let me know what y'all think about this. Y'all think this is a step in the right direction? Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.